Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Friday, December the 14th. Congratulations, guys. One day closer to the weekend. We're almost there, and I hope you're all doing fantastic today on this beautiful morning. It's cold and frigid outside, as it always is, but it's nice and toasty and heating up on the Bitcoin markets, guys. So let's start with a little bit of normal stuff, guys. Again, Joey V, good morning to you. Again, as always, hope you're doing well. Don't be making any irrational trading decisions. Hope your guys' account balances are looking well, and I hope the trades are going well for you also. And again, hope that everything in general is going well for you too. Let's check in here real quick. All right, got to minimize this so we actually fit. There we go, guys. Scott continues to really just plug away at the website. It continues to get better day by day, guys. Please go check out the website at cryptocurrency.com. Please let us know what you think. Leave any comments, thoughts, descriptions, sarcastic remarks, and death threats in the comments section down below, as always, or email them to us or hit us up on Discord, guys. We're pretty easy to get a hold of. Let's take a look here and see. Starting off with some normal stuff again. Me and Scott will be speaking at the American Association of Individual Investors on January the 19th to the local Milwaukee chapter. That will take place at about 10 o'clock in the morning. We will be discussing the basics of blockchain technology and how you can invest in cryptocurrency. All right, so that'll be cool, guys. Tickets are still available if you want to come see us. Texas Blues, good morning to you, man. And hello from India. Hello from America. Fifth Ronin, good morning to you, man. How you doing, bro? All right, let's check in real quick with the Kraken Cryptocurrency Trading Group, guys. So last night, interesting, and I'll point it out, guys. We were talking about the head and shoulders pattern that we were seeing last night in the private chat room for the Kraken Cryptocurrency Trading Group, and we had a few of the members had measured out some different measure moves, and I took the smaller time frame measured move, and that put us at 31.64, and I'll show you that when we go to the chart. So I had set a buy order down there, and at 32, as I had been talking about for quite a while, both those orders got filled. I set short-term targets at 52.80 and 5300. And those were able to fill last night. Stop losses at 5,200. So we're out of that short-term scalp long on XBT. That was actually quite nice. We're able to pull 12.5% in a bear market. Not bad, guys. Not bad as well. Pretty much our biggest hit. We're still looking really good for the entire month of December, honestly. But our biggest hit that we've taken here in quite a while was on that speculative BCH ABC. That's just completely fallen off a cliff. Luckily, we were able to reduce risk, whereas a lot of other people would have been stubborn and held on to their positions, guys. So always remember risk management being the key to success in any of these ventures, guys. All right, let's see here. Moving on. All right, talked about that. Let's go take a look at some news. Yes, I want to start off with some news. I know you guys want to get right to the price, but there are some interesting things that I did want to talk about, guys. So, the first thing also, we've been giving away MMO coin for free to members of the channel. We drop it, we rain it all the time, guys. If you want to see your cryptocurrency actually actualize in price, guys, you got to do the point and click action, guys. So if you head on over to lbank.info/vote, I'm going to pop that in the chat, actually. Let's pull up the restream. And give it a vote, guys. So for MMO to be listed on lbank.info. That's compared to where MMO is at, pretty large exchange. So MMO supporters of the show, guys. If you guys want to actually help support them out, then go give them a vote, guys. lbank.info/vote. All right, moving on. This is I only got 2 news things to go over, guys. Actually 3, but this one I think is actually pretty cool. So fintech, fintech companies Revolut and Robinhood are actually looking to replace banks with a newer digital alternative to what we traditionally see in banks. So Revolut just announced this morning that they did receive their European banking license, so they're going to be offering checking and savings accounts to individuals who want to participate in this. Everything through an app, very nice and clean and concise. You'll be able to get loans, you'll be able to send money, you'll be able to purchase cryptocurrency. So what they're doing, I mean, obviously they're just trying to stand up and step up, and yes, it's all marketing, and yes, it's all, their way to make money, but I think it's a much better alternative to our traditional brick and mortar way that we've been doing things, and the fact that they're supportive of cryptocurrency. This is just a step in the right direction for me. So Revolut is valued at about $1.7 billion. So it's going to be rolling out insured bank accounts to its more than 3 million customers in early 2019. Revolut also has an app that already features cryptocurrency exchange, and soon they will support commission-free stock trading, just like Robinhood. And also plans to begin offering personal and business loans within the near future. They say, quote, with the banking license now secured, commission-free stock trading progressing well in 5 new international markets at final stages of launch, we are living up to our reputation as the, quote, Amazon of banking, said Nikolai Stronsky, founder and CEO of Revolut. Our vision is simple, one app with tens of millions of users where you can manage every aspect of your financial life with the best value and technology. So their vision is that you'll be able to apply for a loan in just 2 minutes from within the app and then have the money in your account almost instantly. They say they'll remove the bureaucratic that will remove the bureaucratic process and come in cheaper than traditional lenders. Now, I haven't really gotten super excited over my skis about altcoins that offer things like this, where altcoins want to come out and say that they're going to be doing this with their loyalty token, which is basically what most altcoins are. But this is actually going to be doing this with traditional fiat, and then you're going to be able to take that fiat and invest in the cryptocurrency of your choice if you're so inclined, or into your business, or whatever you would like to do. So this is actually pretty exciting to me. I think, again, this is a step in the right direction. And stock trading app Silicon Valley darling Robinhood has expressed its desire to become a licensed banking institution as well. And while Robinhood has not received the American banking license, they did... hold on. What did they say they did here? They are going to be offering, checking and savings accounts through their broker-dealer license. And their cash deposits will be insured by the SIPC up to $250,000. So Robinhood will offer you a free debit card as well as zero-fee withdrawals at ATMs across the United States. So this is also a pretty cool thing. If you guys are wanting to get away from traditional banks and be with somebody that is supporting something like cryptocurrency, which is moving more toward the future, then definitely go check out what Robinhood's going to be offering. So this is a pretty cool infographic. If you guys want to go check out the rest of that, I'll pop that description in the link below. So yeah, go check this out. With the cold shoulder that a lot of banks have given toward cryptocurrency, to see these big, startups that actually are extremely popular and really, growing faster and faster every single day. This is something I get more excited about when I see actual ventures that actually have a good working product that do more than just say, hey, invest in my ICO and you'll make billions of dollars. No, this is actually significant companies that are doing significant things, that are behind and supportive of cryptocurrency. And more importantly, they are offering an easier avenue for retail investors to get involved in cryptocurrency, guys. So when you're looking at catalysts, this is definitely a good one. This is non-cryptocurrency related, but I just wanted to bring this to your attention. If you use Windows 10, this is from lifehacker.com. Windows 10 is collecting activity data even when you disable tracking, but you can block it. There is a nice step process here. Oh, okay, hold on. So this is actually there we go. Yeah, from Lifehacker. So what you want to do is, if you go to your Windows 10 settings and go to the privacy section and disable everything in your activity history, if you give it a few days and look at your Windows privacy dashboard online, you will find that applications, media, and even browsing history will still show up. So pretty disingenuous with the way that they're tracking your private data, even when you explicitly tell them not to. Now, Windows has come out and said that, hey, we're going to be fixing this in the next patch. Yeah, right. Okay, so there is a nice pretty easy step here just by editing your registry. There's a full, I'll drop the link to how to do this in the description down below. So if you guys are concerned with your privacy and you don't want Windows 10 to be monitoring what you are doing, and you want to learn how to disable that, it's fairly easy to do. There's a fairly simple 7-step process here. All right, so just to go over it real quick, you can download the registry tool editor from the tutorial page right here. You double click on it, click run, and all you'll do is edit the registry, the portion of your registry that actually allows that data to be sent. So you will actually disable that from the back end of your computer. This last story, guys, from the New York Post. The Bitcoin bandit extradited to California to face hacking charges. Look at this smiling dude right here. Look at that dude. He's just happy as pie, dude. Nicholas Trulia was extradited Thursday to California to face charges that he hacked into the phones of Silicon Valley bigwigs to try to steal their cryptocurrency. I didn't do it, he said, as he was led to the waiting car by two burly deputy sheriffs. The allegations are false. I've been framed. It was the one-armed man. AKA Craig Wright. Now, this computer was allegedly stole $1 million from San Francisco father of two, Robert Ross, all without leaving his luxury West 42nd Street pad, according to Santa Clara Superior Court records. So, he pulled off the October 26th heist using a scheme called SIM swapping, guys. So this is why you want to be careful. If you guys want to be, make sure you have, guys, I can't stress this enough. Dashlane, actually the password manager, just put out a report the other day saying that it's an update to their worst passwords category. Cryptocurrency investors and cryptocurrency exchange users have the third worst password hygiene among Dashlane users. And this is crazy, guys, because literally all that separates you from your money is your private key and your password that probably protects that from an exchange or, whatever's in your password logger or whatever. So you guys really need to make sure that you're stepping up your private security game. Make sure that you are using good, strong passwords. Again, what I like to do is I actually skip, most passwords are going to look something like this. Let me pop something in the chat. Most passwords are going to look something like this, I think. Most passwords are going to look something like that. I think that's completely ridiculous. So what I like to use is something like this, I like to use something like that. I like to use 5 simple words or a key phrase separated by hyphens. Actually, I've done the research, and there's a lot of data. There's a lot of analytical data out there that shows that those passwords are stronger from brute force attacks as opposed to the whole random thing. And the nice thing about that too is that you can actually remember your passwords, guys. You can actually remember your passwords, and they're just as strong as those random, crazy 30 random character digits. Just make it nice, like 20 to 25 characters, 4 or 5 random words. Now obviously that's just a fairly simple example there, but that's actually a strong password, dude, and there's analytics that actually back that data up. And the nice thing about it is that you can actually remember your password, which makes it even safer, because if you lose your password, you're screwed. So just to get into the SIM swapping, what he does is he calls customer service representatives of cell phone companies and convinces them to port the victim's phone number over to a number that he controls, giving him unfettered access to the device and locking out the owner. So this guy, Robert Ross, actually watched helplessly as his phone went dark, and Trulio allegedly converted his cash in his Coinbase and Gemini accounts into Bitcoin and moved it to his personal account, guys. So protect yourself from attacks like this and make sure that you are setting a nice, strong password. Also, I think the most important thing here is make sure you have two-factor authentication turned on. It's really your first your first line of defense. Strong password, two-factor authentication, and make sure that you call your cell phone provider and set up some kind of password or some kind of process through which account recovery can only take place. Otherwise, this is one of the most popular ways of jacking right now, of crypto jacking. So just make sure that you're protecting yourself against this. All right. All right, I want to look at our data metrics here. So let's start off with the bid ask sum on data.bitcoinity.org, and we'll go ahead and refresh the page here. So we'll get into the bid ask sum. So this is within 10% of price, and look at this massive spike in bids right here. I mean, it's just massive. I mean, we just shot up over the last 30 days, actually. So we actually have our low here on the 12th, and then from the 12th to today, we just have this massive increase in bids, actually, on the bid ask wall. So this is limit orders being placed within 10% of the price. So within 10% of the price, there is a massive interest in buying this up. I've been talking about this for a while, guys. There's really only two, the key areas, the reasons that I have placed my long orders where I have. The reasons that I have placed my buy orders like I have, spaced around the $3,000 area, is mostly psychological. Again, $3,000 is a very strong psychological price point, and looking at the order books on major exchanges, I have seen over the last week that there has been a massive increase in buys spaced out between those areas. Now, we do need to take this with a grain of salt. Why do we need to take this with a grain of salt? Because when the market is moving quite volatilely, as I've noticed with Bitcoin, with the amount of liquidity that it has, as opposed to something like an altcoin, actually, believe it or not, the order book tends to get spoofed a lot. So you will see those large buy orders move up and down, trying to capture price, trying to lure trying to lure traders or less savvy traders into selling at a lower price and providing liquidity to their buy orders, which they need. Obviously, clever traders are always trying to trap retail traders into pools of liquidity so they can actually get their orders filled at the correct price that they want them to be. And another thing too is that, people always say, I'm always trying to follow what professional traders are doing as opposed to retail traders. I'm always trying to counter trade them, but I cannot state importantly enough that what you guys need to do is make sure that you are generating your own trade ideas. Following other people's trade ideas tends to not work out too well, and following consensus trade ideas never works out for you as well. The reason that consensus trade ideas don't work out well, and what I mean by that is looking for what the general crowd is doing and trying to follow along with them. The reason why that's extremely dangerous is because then you have all these lemmings piled into the same position heading in the same direction, and they all tend to get spooked at once. It's like watching deer in the wild. As soon as the price moves against them to a significant area, they all tend to act at the same moment and cut their losses at the same time. So that puts you in a very dangerous position if you are on the side of retail traders, because you're just going to get washed out as they get washed out, and it's a cascading style of events. So this is why I prefer to counter trend trade. I like to fade breakouts. I like to long breakdowns. All these things that I've seen so many times that have allowed me to stay in the game and what I believe my edge in the game is. So just be careful of trading with consensus, and always make sure that you are doing your own research and generating your own trade ideas that are unique and allow you to build your own portfolio or your own trade setups that actually will allow you to be profitable in this space, whatever venture that you decide to take. So, but I do think this is quite interesting. A massive amount of buys entering into the market around that $3,000 area, anywhere from $3,100 to $2,900. Now, I do believe that it will be difficult for us to break $3,000. I think that's an extremely significant level that I am paying very close attention to. Now, I've been fairly transparent with my position. Again, nothing has really changed. Last night, we did post a long scalp setup from 3,200 to 3,164, which, I mean, we called that almost perfectly. The low was actually 3,163. We missed it by $1. And I'll chart that out, guys. And you guys can go look in the Discord. Like, I'm not, what's the word that the young kids use nowadays? I'm not fronting. Is that what they say? Fronting? Yeah, I'm not cool, guys. I'm not fronting, guys. You guys can go see it in the Discord. I'll post. Again, I can't window capture Discord. There's an issue with that. I've tried different things. So if anybody knows the hack to that, I'd be happy to share that stuff. But yes, I posted that in the Discord last night in the private chat room, measuring out that 3,164 in response to another member of the trading group that had measured out 3032, I believe. And I'll show you that's just the measured move off this small time frame head and shoulders pattern. I took the measured move from the peak to the trough, and that showed me 3,164, and we were able to hit that quite nicely. Took profits at 3,280, and we actually should be out of that trade now at 3,200 for that short-term scalp. The long-term XBT position still remains the same. Buy orders strategically placed between 32 and 3,100, reducing risk at 3,000 and 2,850. Now, why do I think that BTC is going to have a hard time breaking 3K? Can it happen? Absolutely, it can happen. And breaking 3K to me on a higher time frame would be indicative of the continuation of the dominant bear trend in a significant fashion, and most likely a move down below 2,800. Why? And really, if that happens, if that is the path that we take, looking over here on our longer time frames, more than likely, I think that in that sense that overall, I think we do settle around 2,300. 22 actually, and I'll show you the data metrics to back that up. So let's zoom this out a little bit. We have our 88.6 retracement at 2331. So I actually do believe I actually do believe that at 23.31 is more than likely the likeliest area in this range for us to actually find a bottom when we do reach down that low. Now, I don't think we're going to go there directly. I think that is going to be a barting pathward down. I do think that right now would be a good area around this $3,000 area. I think once we drop a little bit more here around this $3,000, $3,100 area, that we will see the potential to BART our way back up, potentially at least to retest these lows right here. So I think that's a good speculative long. It's again, make sure that you guys are generating your own trade ideas. Don't take what I say on gospel. Make sure that you are generating your own unique trading ideas that ideally are counter trend to what the rest of the market is doing, and that way you can fashion your own profitable strategy that is not reliant on anybody else's data metrics. Developing your own unique ideas is the most important thing for a trading strategy, guys. Just make sure that what you're doing is unique and profitable, and you will be successful in this space. Again, make sure I can't stress this enough, guys. Just keep a trading diary and keep track of the trades that you make and the reasons why you make your trade. No Damas, hey, thanks for joining us this morning. CraigShip.com says my back the truck up number is 3050. I think that's a good idea. Let's see here. Superheart.org, man. I don't know, what are you on about, dude? Scott, are you around, dude? Can you mute that guy? I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I feel like you're just spamming your stuff, and then you're making you're making sexual comments. I don't know, dude. This is not the show for that, dude. This is a family friendly show. Family-friendly show here. So, yeah, Scott, if you could actually just kind of push that guy on out the way, that would be appreciated. Craig Ship says at 2300, I will load a train car full of Bitcoins. Yes, I believe so too. I do have strategic buy orders placed between 3,000 and 2,000. So we'll see how that's actualizing. Again, I'm on the record, guys. If so, I'm on the record buying the dip in small positions at 5, 4, and 3. So nothing really has changed in my long-term view or faith of Bitcoin. Yes, we will re-see a top. Yes, we will re-see all-time highs. Yes, I am still long BTC, Mark D. Again, I've kind of talked about the nuances of that as well. Hey, Mbate, thanks for joining us this morning, man. Market gets exciting, and Mbate's like, all right, forget masternodes right now. What's going on with the big cap coins, guys? Amber IUX it Scott, buy Bitcoins. Yes. I hope you don't mean buy Bitcoins, buy Bitcoins, buy. Oh man. Yes, I am still long XBT, believe it or not, because I counter trade what everybody else is doing, and I think this is the likeliest nice, beautiful area for a nice little bounce. But again, I'm prepared for the downside. I've hedged my risk. I have hedge trades open with ETH shorts and actually not ETH shorts right now, ETH Z18 shorts, which I think is the most fantastic way to hedge your particular bet. I'm actually also potentially considering when we see after I see where this goes and today, really, where I see where this heads toward as the daily candle looks to close here, I will potentially be looking for an area to open up a hedged short on the futures contract, actually. So not on the perpetual swap. The perpetual swap's where I'm long because I'm liking getting dinged the funding fee, or excuse me, I'm liking getting the ping in the bucket on the funding fee right now. And also, again, I'm looking for that play out right here, as I have been for a while. So again, the original position, guys, was the fill at 35, 33, and 32. Did get a partial fill there, and we took profits at 35.50 and 36.20. So that ended up being a nice trade. We took a short scalp here, and then we entered into another long speculative that ended up just being a scalp here. Those that entered late are out at 3,200, and now they're looking to re-enter at 3,150, 3,000, 30.50. Depending on, but again, they're just ideas for you to help guide your own trade setups, guys. You want to be generating your own unique trading ideas, guys. Brandon Murray says, no pain, no gain, hodl. It's time to hodl BTC. We cannot snipe the bottom. I think bears will go to their caves to sleep long. Hey, man, I like that positive thought, man. Mark D says, I have a $900 target on BTC. I don't know about that, man. I really do not think we fall that low. I highly doubt that. Again, my long-term target, I think, is more than likely around that $2,300 range. Just looking at all the data that I have available to me, that seems the most likely area for us to bottom. We'll just wait and see, guys. Mbate says, nah, my master nodes are all dead. Only hodling 2 shitcoins. The rest are top 100. Good, man. Good, man. Mark D, long BTC and short ETH. That is the traditional way to hedge, yes. Although I would not be hedging, I would not be shorting the perpetual swap contract on ETH USD right now. I would probably, again, I'm looking at, I am actually short the ETH C18 contract. Because of the spread between that and the perpetual swap contract. It's a better trade for me. Joey V, give me a hammer. I'll get him. Yes, Thor, get that guy. No Damas says, what's my opinion on quantum computers and crypto's brag? Are you saying bra? So my opinion on quantum computers is that they, a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to crack the blockchain. That's a potential. Yeah, sure, that's a potential. But it's also a potential that they'll be used to secure the blockchain as well. So, when you have... The nice thing about technology is that it can be used for good or for ill. So when you're, all this kind of fear and FUD saying that quantum computing will be used to crack the elliptical curve cryptography, the nice thing about quantum computing is that it can be used for mining to secure the elliptical curve cryptography as well. So then it becomes just an arms race. Craig Schiff says at $900, I will fully load a container ship with Bitcoin. Yes, man. Brandon Murray, I seen an XLM whale dumped XLM BTC first, then go to BTC USDT and dump so hard. This guy is XLM founder, well-known exit scammer. Why not believe Bitcoin should been already leave this? Oh, who do not believe in Bitcoin should have already left this market. Yes, that's, the beautiful thing is that you want to take advantage of capitulation, guys. You want to take advantage of capitulation. At a certain point in time, individuals will be in too much pain where they have to sell. Even smart investors with lots of capital, dude. At some point in time, they will have bought at the wrong price, and they will offload, and they will be offloading to clever traders. And I am trying to be that clever trader, man. Ooh. All right, so we talked about the bid-ask sum being quite impressive here, guys. We talked about the bid-ask sum being quite interesting here to the upside. Yes, and it actually continues to grow and grow and grow. Now, this is updated every 30 minutes. So we will keep our eye on this as well. If we go down to the 30, yes, let's look at the 3-day. And now this is within 10% of price on Bitfinex. So we actually do see this.
It's over 9,000!
Oh my dear Lord, Shahriar. Hey, welcome to the Kraken cryptocurrency community. Thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, man. So this is Bitfinex. So we do actually see this just general increase, this spike in bids as price continues to move down a little bit. So quite interesting. And we do not actually see the increase in selling positions here. The number of asks on the books has stayed the same, guys. So let's go look at BitMEX and see how that stacks up as well. If we look at BitMEX, we actually do the same. We do.
It's over 9,000!
Hey, Jason Evans. Hey, welcome to the community, man. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. So appreciative of your support. Thank you so much. We do see this exact same thing here on BitMEX. If we actually look, so this is the bid-ask sum within 10% of the price range of the current price. We actually do see this skyrocket in bids coming into the limit books on BitMEX as well. And we did have a nice little spike up in asks as well, and now they're dying off, guys. So this is interesting. This does lead us toward bullish, the idea that individuals are still more interested in buying these key areas. Now, this has been this way for quite a while.
9,000!
Oh, thank you so much. No Damas. Hey, thanks for joining us. Now, this has remained the same for quite a while. If we actually look at the 50% mark, we do see that the 50% mark, this is the last 3 days. We do see that actually, if we go back and look at the last 30 days, will give us interesting metrics. So the last 30 days, the number of bids on the order books has been the same, guys, but it's been gradually falling off and in this ranging environment. And what do we see now? We actually do see a breakout of that resistance if you want to do technical analysis on the number of bids in. Now, here's something that I do want to point out, guys, because I get a lot of feedback. And the reality is that you can do technical analysis on sentiment data. You can. Anybody who says that you can't, I think has a fundamental disconnect between them applying fundamental or technical analysis to price action and them applying technical analysis to statistics, okay? Everything is statistics. Everything is data. So the idea that you can apply technical analysis to price action, which is the psychological movements of people buying and selling, but you can apply technical analysis to the actual data metrics on the underlying statistics behind that, like sentiment, longs and shorts, bid-ask sums, limit orders. You absolutely can, because everything revolves around key statistical patterns, probabilities, curves, pivotal areas. Everything does. And I guarantee you, here's the thing. Here's something that I want to point out. To quote Hayden on Trendlines. People don't do technical analysis on sentiment data. I bet you their bots do. I bet you their algorithms do. Guys, this is important data that you do want to be looking at. when generating your trade setups and ideas. So let's look at 5% of the price and see where price is likely to move in the short term. In the short term, we actually do see the dominance of the bids to the asks as well. Even here on 5% of price, we see this absolute skyrocket in the bid ask sum here. This is extremely interesting to me. That does lead me to think that there are, well, that's clear that there are a significant amount of buys that have entered into the order books within the last, within really the last within really the last few hours. So the interest, as me as well, in buying up this dip is significant. Now, whether we get the nice recovery bounce that we really are expecting here doesn't matter, because when you take it does matter, but allow me to elaborate on that a little bit. When you're looking at taking a position, all you can do is take in your mind, generate your own unique trade idea, and take in your mind, the highest probable trade. And for me right now, it's converse to price action. It's congruent with psychological data. And again, that 3,000 area, a good area where I would be looking for support. And that's the way that I'm playing this out. I've generated my own unique trade idea. I have established my risk. I have established my reward. The reward seems higher than the risk, and I'm willing to take that trade. And I've clicked the button, guys. And whenever you click the button, the market's going to decide whether you're profitable or not. Let's see here. Okay, so we've looked at the bid-ask sum and talked about how positive that actually looks. If we look at the combined order book as well, and the amount of weight that I put on this is actually generally less than the bid-ask sum, but it's just something interesting to look at. And we actually see, if we go look at $3,000, if we look at $3,000, we can just see where the order book really starts beefing up around $3,000, really across all exchanges. It's kind of a slow rise up, and then around that $3,000 area, it just gets pretty beefy. And we do see the ask wall on the combined order book is actually fairly slim. So the number of individuals that are beefing up the order books right here around that $3,000 area is quite significant. You can actually see the dramatic spike. From above 3,000 to that $3,000 level, and then it starts to get even higher. So that's something that you're always going to see. You're always wanting to set, again, another good strategy is just another kind of addendum to your trading strategy is always, if you're looking to go long, set kind of wild card Hail Mary bids at very, very low levels. And with how volatile Bitcoin is, the ability to catch a very, very strong volume wick that immediately rebounds is significant. Again, if you look at just what we've seen lately, like Ethereum Classic, if you look at Enigma, actually, so let's go actually look at those. So let's go look. The last one to do it was Enigma. Yeah. So actually, look here. Just look at that wick. I mean, Enigma just within the course of an hour dropped 82%. And if you would have had bid orders spread throughout here, you would have made a killing immediately. So you see this kind of stuff all the time in cryptocurrency. Enigma right now, but you do see this stuff all the time in cryptocurrency, and you want to be positioning yourself to be able to take advantage of these kind of crazy black swan, rainbow unicorn type events and situations in the market. Where am I looking at those bids and asks? That is data.bitcoinity.org bid ask sum. So just go to data.bitcoinity.org. This is a fantastic data resource, guys. MT Coiner, hey man, welcome to the show. Fifth Ronin wants me to check out Doc. Yeah, sure, man. We'll take a look at Doc. Mark D says there's a real chance that Bitcoin doesn't survive. I'm very open to that possibility. It would be disingenuous of me to say that that's impossible. Anything's possible. I think it's highly unlikely, and I have taken my position with Bitcoin as well. But even if Bitcoin dies, it won't ruin me as a trader. I'll just move on to something else. It's all about position sizing and hedging risk, guys. Never let one thing kill you. Can you compare a time when we have the same price and volumes on 2017 Bitcoin USD with today? Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, there's not a good time. We really haven't seen this since... since 2013. So there's not a good example of this in 2017, because in 2017 we were in a completely diametrically opposed market situation where we were in a strong uptrend. So I'm not seeing. I don't actually think it's ingenuous to compare 2017 to 2018. The only way that I'm actually comparing them is this area right here, which we've already broken below the high volume node on. So here we have 2017. We have the 1st of September 2017, where we did actually drop from around $5,000 all the way down to about $3,000. That was a 40% drop just over the course of about a week and a half. But then we just went up, over 400% actually after that. So it's not, to me, an entirely congruent area. I guess if we were to invert this and flip this chart around, you kind of see the same pattern where you do actually break down below resistance here, which should have became support. You actually did catch a little bit of support off of it for a while. You move down lower to actually where the candlestick body closes were on the support area right here, and then you do run back up here to the top of that resistance or that support to test it as resistance, which is also our 786 Fibonacci retracement, and then you got a rejection from there. So you did get a rejection from there. So if we were to measure that out conversely, then so we came down, tested resistance, and then we moved down another 23% before rebounding again. So from that area, we would move down another 23%. And we didn't get that same, if we were looking at the similarities here. So just, kind of like looking at doing this in reverse, we moved down and then back up and then down. So we did get that. We moved down, and then back up. And now we're moving back down again. We didn't see the exact same kind of similarity play out. And I don't like the idea of playing that like switched inversed fractal type game because I don't put a lot of stock in that. I just look for where the volume is, and as we can see, we did have this high volume node that we were trading in for a while, found a little bit of consolidation, got that nice relief rally there in Bitcoin, and then we're just breaking down from that area. And again, the reason that I'm playing that $3,000 area is because I see that congrued throughout the order books, and I also see that congrued for psychological support as well. Now, a breakdown of that level will, again, I think, be more significant. I think that people who are thinking that price will turn around at 29, 28, 27, I think that they're wrong. I think that more than likely we might get like consolidation or nice little bounces from that area. But do I think if we break 3,000, we bottom there? No, I really think that my bet on a bottoming price level is, as I've said, around that $2,300 area. Our 86 Fibonacci retracement, and toward the lower end of this consolidation range as well, kind of toward the end. That seems like a good area for capitulation. I think that we'll just wait and see if that is actually capitulation when we get there, if the volume profile in the current volume by time is actually going to congrue with that, what the price action is doing as well. Again, guys, one day at a time, one Satoshi at a time. Calm, patient, easy trading. The sweep you were talking about 2 or 3 days ago to a lower order block around 3,100 to 3,200, is that happening now, or did the slow bleed down and validate this and now looking for a lower sweep? Malicious Upload says, with you getting bigger and bigger with subs, the more you share all the sites, the less useful they will be. Maybe, potentially, possibly. Maybe. I think they're still important. Data metrics. So Texas Blues, actually, yes, that's still the current play that I have on the books right now for XBT. Looking for this sweep of this area. Again, we did sweep 3,200. We are now sweeping 3,100. And again, I have my buy strategically placed throughout this area. And again, reducing risk at 3,000 and 2,850. The reason I'm reducing risk at 2,850 is to prepare myself for a massive wick down and capitulation. So again, if we close a higher time frame, I flip bearish almost immediately if we close a daily if we close a daily candle below 3,000. If we close a daily candle below 3,000, then I start to look for a long-term short entry again. After I had already, but again, the reason that I took a long here is that I was tired of shorting Bitcoin down from these levels. We were able to short Bitcoin down for a very long time, and now we're seeing a little bit of a different pattern play out, and I'm looking to take it to the upside, guys. Now, whether that plays out or not, that's fine. It'll be a wash with the profits that I've taken and accrued throughout my other trades. Again, got some really nice profitable things on the table as well. But yes, that is the current play setup that I have currently right now. And the reason why, psychologically, looking at the bid-ask sum, looking at the order books, and looking at the other data. Now, sentiment data actually does not back up a strong move either to the upside or the downside. If we actually see here, looking at longs and shorts, let's move them to a higher pane so we can actually look at them. So this is a extrapolation of Bitfinex longs and shorts. We do see actually a nice pickup in longs here just recently, and we don't see a big pickup in shorts as well. So the shorts are not in a position to be significantly squeezed. Again, we're always going to see bottom shorters getting squeezed, retail traders getting squeezed. As we do, we're always going to see that. But we're not actually right now in a position where we could get a movement like this. If we go back in time, and remember when everybody's like, "Oh, Justin, you're crazy. Why are you going long on BTC?" Well, actually, we were right there, and I remember on the live stream we got this sick pump up, and then we got this other sick pump up to 36.20. Did happen. I was here, guys, and one nice thing is that we were actually positioned in that area to get a squeeze on the shorts here, which is actually what we saw. We did see a squeeze on the shorts, boom, right there. And that was what allowed price to propel itself up to 36.20. We're actually not in that situation right now. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I'm going to wait and see what retail decides to do, what the shorts actually decide to do here as far as data, because we do see the longs picking up. Longs picking up at the bottom is generally a good sign as well. Also, another good sign is to see the fact that there are not actually a lot of shorts piling into this. It seems like people are kind of like, I don't know. Kind of looks like a stop loss hunt to me. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to take this, man. I don't know. And the volume actually isn't extremely impressive, honestly. This volume is high compared to the relative volume, but this is consolidation volume, man. So this is nothing to get over your skis about. Now, if we do see the volume really start piling in here and really start pouring in as well, and again, we're able to really start closing below 3,000, okay, then my story changes, guys, because I will react to the market. I do this professionally. I'm not a stubborn trader. No, I killed that stuff in the first 5 years of trading. But again, I don't know. It's not to be controversial, guys. I know that people are out there are going to say. I know that people are going to laugh at my misery, I guess, or the misery of people who are going long in this position. But whatever. It doesn't matter, guys. I have a unique trading idea that is my own. I've established my setups. I've been profitable on it before. I've hedged my risk. It's a trade. If it goes against me, whatever. I just move on to the next one, guys. It's not the end of the world, guys. It's not the end of the world. Calm, patient, slow, easy trading, man. Calm, patient, slow, easy trading. If Bitcoin hits 3K, Justin will rage and tip someone out of their wheelchair. No, I think, again, I don't play video games, man, but I might log on to Fortnite with my son and just completely blast his butt. I might do that. No, not at all, man. I'll just say, hey guys, we'll just move on to the next one and we'll take that trade, man. Again, there's, I just see, you guys need to be careful of what advice you're taking at and looking for, because the people that are screaming to short the bottom right here, they're psychologically wrong, and the people that are screaming that we're going to 10K right now, they're psychologically wrong also. Hayden, you thank you, man. I appreciate that compliment, but it's just a good trading hygiene, man, to be able to just shrug off losses, to be humble about winnings, and to move on to the next trade, whether you're right or you're wrong, guys. It's an occupation, man. There is a 233 BTC bid wall at 32.05 at Binance BTC USDT. Can it be a fake wall? Yeah, absolutely. It's a fake wall if it gets moved down more. Wait, bid wall? Okay, so let's go look at the price on Binance. That's a big bid wall. More than likely that will get moved if price moves down toward it. We'll just have to see, like when it starts getting chewed up. You never really know until it happens. So if the owner of that bid actually allows it to start getting chewed up, more than likely they're going to switch it around. Sergio Rodriguez, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, man. Welcome to the Kraken cryptocurrency community. NASDAQ 2% down recession here. Yes, I do think that the NASDAQ is actually going to continue to fall. It is poised on the edge of the cliff. Do I think it breaks down on the first go around? Probably not. Let's go take a look at the DJI and the SPY. Yeah, so same thing here. S&P 500 really poised on the edge of a cliff right here. Let's go look at the daily chart. S&P 500 poised on the edge of a cliff right here. We can actually see, if we look here fairly closely, let's turn that off, and cool, excellent, fantastic.
It's over 9,000!
Hey, Peter Larson. Hey, thanks for joining the community, man. Welcome to the community, brother. Thanks for the sub on YouTube. Highly appreciate it. Again, sorry guys, my old charts got deleted when I made the switch on TradingView that I did, so I'm having to redo a lot of my charts. But it's good because it gives you guys an opportunity to see what I look for in the markets. Cool. It's like it knows. W. Dun 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 bum. It's a nice little W batwing formation, guys. It is not the frolicking bullish llama pattern. This actually is looking pretty bearish. Now, it's at a pivotal area where you can expect a little bit of a bounce, but if we were going to get a bounce off that W bottom pattern, typically you're looking for the third breakdown right here. It did not happen. You've been getting these reactionary bounces on the S&P 500. And more than likely, the more that we just hang around the bottom of this cliff, the more than likely that we do break to the downside. Now, whether we find support on these triple bottom areas right here does not sound overly enthusiastic to me. Look at the amount of volume pouring in, guys. You can actually see, like, if you look at the S&P 500, as we were rising up, we actually had I bet we can actually see bearish divergence, because look, you have this blow off top right here on massive volume, guys, and then you pull back and you form this kind of Adam and Eve pattern, and then you continue to move up on low volume, and then the massive sell off, guys. So this actually does look like the S&P 500 is going to take a hit. Now, Bitcoin and the S&P 500 have been correlated with about a 2-day delay. But I think that in the long term, in the midterm, I'm just looking at Bitcoin's price action on its own in the psychological support area to kind of calculate that bounce and that measure move and the risk that I've decided to take. JN, man, welcome to the community. Thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. But in the midterm to long term, I am actually expecting this decline in the S&P 500 to be a good thing for Bitcoin. Now, right now, Bitcoin is still considered a risk on asset, so it is moving, as I said, with about a 2 to 3 day delay behind the traditional markets as well. But I think that as individuals look to hedge, even the more riskier ones and the more institutional avenues for investment in Bitcoin that comes out over the course of 2019, I think that it actually will be a good catalyst for the movement up of Bitcoin. But I wax loquaciously about that. Let's go up and see, man. Is Poopcoin Patrick and Moonboy Montgomery in here right now? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sergio Rodriguez. Yes, thank you, man. Let's see here. My plan is to keep buying until I hit 100 Bitcoin and then hold until 2024. What are your thoughts on just buying and holding? No trading. I'm currently about halfway there. Wow, man. Well, congratulations to you, man. I'm not a kind of guy. I'm an active trader. If we look at the if you actually look at like the long term, now obviously the last year has been absolutely fantastic for the S&P 500 and traditional markets. 2017 has been a great year. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump. But yeah, we're looking at a potential falling off a cliff here, and it could be quite gnarly, dude. If you actually look at the decade prior to that, if you look at the decade from like 2000 to 2012, buy and hold was actually not a good strategy for you. So again, these markets move in cyclical patterns, guys. There's long-term cycles and there's short-term cycles. So actually, if we go to the weekly chart, yeah, we can see that a little clearer. So actually from about 2000 to 2012, buy and hold was actually a terrible investment for you. So that was a 10-year period where buy and hold would have not done well for you. From 2000 to 2012, the S&P 500 was actually range bound. So it would have actually made much more sense for you to buy oversold conditions in the marketplace, looking at something like the monthly chart and using an oscillator of your choice, and buying overbought conditions. Or selling overbought conditions, excuse me. That would have been a much more profitable strategy for you to trade as well. And looking at Bitcoin's price history, the same thing as well. Buy and hold has worked out for Bitcoin just because it's been the best returning asset of the last decade. However, I think moving forward, the more liquidity and the more volume and the more institutionalized Bitcoin becomes as far as trading goes, I think that buy and hold will not be the right asset. Again, I think that we would most likely see, if it is going to just tear off like it has, like the S&P 500, it's potential that we see, several years here of range before we get another bull run. But again, guys, statistically speaking, 2019 is the best year for you to buy. The year leading up to the 2020 halving is the year leading up to the halving is statistically always the best profitable time to buy for Bitcoin. So be looking at accumulating, guys, at these lower price levels. Doesn't matter if we drop down to 2,000, I'll still be accumulating there. So I'm right with you there on the aspect of your trading. I think that's a little bit higher risk, higher reward, but again, trading is as well. So if you're just looking at it as a long-term investment, there's not an issue with that. I think that Bitcoin will continue to be a high performing and returning asset. Just make sure that you're hedging risk, man, and you're looking to take advantage of opportunities. Peter Larson. Oh, no, thank you, dude. Thank you so much, man. Spartan Smith. Hey, what's going on, man? No dreams at the water cooler today. Monthly bearish divergence on the MACD and RSI. Are you talking about the S&P? Yeah, let's look at the oscillators. Oh yeah, man. Weekly divergence too as well. So yeah, we can look at the RSI here and just see this massive bearish divergence actually. Yeah, and you can see that confirmed by volume as well. You can see that confirmed by volume. So let's actually go take a look here. We did have this top overbought conditions. We did pull back on pretty high volume, and then the next run up was on very, very weak sauce volume, guys. Very weak sauce volume. In fact, declining volume on the movement upwards, which is a sign of weakness. And we did get this bearish divergence on the weekly chart and the monthly chart. Let's see if we actually see it here as well. Yep, we see bearish divergence in the MACD histogram as well. And do we see it on the stochastic?
It's over 9,000!
We do see that bearish divergence on the stochastic as well, and we see it more clearly than me. I use the Fisher transform for divergence because it's measuring more than price action. It's actually converting. I missed somebody. I missed the first person who subbed. Thank you so much. Let's double check here. Rafsan Sobor, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, man. And Dalibor Grakalik. Cool name. Sorry I can't pronounce it well, but thank you so much for this for the sub on YouTube. Welcome to the Kraken cryptocurrency community, guys. Thanks. So glad to have you guys here. Yeah, the Fisher transform is what I typically use for oscillators. Again, I don't have. If you guys see the way that I normally look at price, I don't really use an oscillator, but I will. I do have kind of this smorgasbord pulled up so that when I'm looking for divergence, I can clearly see it indicated across charts. Typically, the way that I will play divergence is if I see it on 2 out of 3 indicators, I'll be looking to hedge. If I see it on 3 out of 4 indicators, I'm definitely looking to take a position. If I see it on all 4 indicators, then I'm going in, man. Yang Enterprise Incorporated, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Welcome to the community, bro. Then I'm going in, and I do see bearish divergence on all 4. I don't see any. Let's see here. Do we see any bullish divergence? Nope. Bullish continuation. Bullish continuation, or excuse me, I'm sorry, bearish. We see a little bit of baby bitch bullish divergence here on the RSI. We do have a little bit of a lower low. Owen J, hey man, thanks for the sub on YouTube, guys. Guys, pouring it in, guys. It seems like we reached 1,000 and now we're going to 2,000 very quickly. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the support, man.
It's over 9,000!
I'll wait. Colin McKinley, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother. Welcome to the community. It's gonna sound less ingenuous the more I say it, guys. But I am extremely appreciative of you guys. Thank you so much. So let's go back over to Bitcoin and keep our eye on this. Yes.
It's over 9,000.
TX Gen Coop. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much. Hey, if you guys want to support the stream, man, trying to build up on Twitch, guys, it doesn't cost you anything. If you want to go over and give me a follow on Twitch at twitch.tv/crackingcrypto, I would highly appreciate that. Let's go take a look here. See, I got to pull up in the chat. What was the trading book called you have been reading several times throughout your life? That would be, well, several, man. I think if you just want to, I think one of the most important approaches that you can take is, key books that you need to read are Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. You definitely need to read that one. Let's see if I'll post the, let's pull it up. Let's see if I can find it on, there we go. That's not the one that I like. There we go. Oh, so that must be the forward. Yeah, okay. Wiley Investment. Okay, this is the 75th with the forward there by but Jesse Livermore. Here, just type this into your search engine and look for the book of your choice. Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. The Market Wizards is really good too. They're just good for seeing.
Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't give a shit.
Hey, Crypto EE, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, man. Highly appreciate it. Market Wizards and the new Market Wizards are really good as well. I'll pop those in here as well. I think are fantastic books as well, just to get a good idea for psychology. Again, guys, hey, don't feel you're not obligated, but if you guys would like to join the Kraken Cryptocurrency Trading Group, you do get access to our resource library where we have like almost over 200 now PDFs of books of trading. We have courses and webinars that I've compiled over my years in trading, technical FX courses, Elliott Wave courses, pretty much all the stuff that, I mean, for real, like, you can go, I've got stuff on there that I probably shouldn't have on there that, that I've just, that I've bought and paid for and downloaded just to look at for educational purposes, full cryptocurrency courses, Investopedia stuff, just full trading courses, like, all this stuff that I've compiled over the years that I've paid, and our team has paid like lots of money for, dude. Like some of these courses, they want to charge like $600 to $1,000, guys. You guys can check it out, man. It's $80 a month. You get access to the library, your own personal trading sheet, my trade setups, the access to the private chat room, access to the VIP day trading voice chat, and access to our once a week webinars, which actually tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing our next webinar for the premium subscribers to the Kraken Cryptocurrency Trading Group. The topics we will be covering is risk management. So those are good books to get you started. And then as far as actual trading, Jason Pearl's book on TD Sequential, and Tom DeMark's The New Science of Technical Analysis. So DeMark Indicators by Jason Pearl is available. I'm sure you can, again, I have it in the resource library. So you guys can get access to it there if you want. Otherwise, you can buy the book. I'm sure you can find probably a PDF maybe online. And then also Tom DeMark, The New Science of Technical Analysis. Right here. The New Science of Technical Analysis is fantastic as well. Where is my... Hey, Crypto King, what's going on, man? Backed Street Boys? ETF Eric anywhere? Inverse Moon. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Volume always goes down in the summertime. Grandma's cookies in a bottle. Yo-ho. You guys are funny. Hey, Yang Enterprise, thank you so much, man. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Could I take a quick look at XLM support and resistance? Yeah, sure, man. right after I look at Doc. Hey, Gecko. Yeah, listen, like, you can absolutely join the Kraken cryptocurrency trading community. Just hop in our Discord. Like, that's completely free, guys. Like, there's no pressure, nothing like that, guys. I post free signals in there. You guys get access to a lot of cool stuff, technical analysis, the public day trading voice chat. But if you guys want to come behind the paywall and get a little bit more intimate, we do post all our trade setups. We post, we try to post like at least a signal a day. When the market's frothy, we post like 3 to 5. And we do swing trades as well. We do, you get access to the day trading voice chat, the private, chat. I've talked about it at length, guys. You guys can go over to krakencryptocurrency.com, and click on trading services and see what we have to offer, man. You get a lot of cool stuff, man. I've been working really hard to provide good value to everybody that's been supporting us lately. So, hey, Daniel, good morning to you, man. Thanks for joining us, bro. All right, let's see here. Guys, it is noon. It's noon. My time. It's noon my time. So what we're going to do is take a quick 1 to 2 minute break, just so I can refresh my water cup and kind of give everything just a chance to breathe out. When we return, we'll be taking requests for anything you guys want to look at. We'll also be looking at some interesting data metrics that I have not gone over yet, some interesting things that I see occurring in the marketplace. And then we'll take a look at DOC and XLM and any requests that you guys have. So generate what you would like to see. And we'll go check all that out, guys. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hey guys, and we're back. Thanks for sticking with us, man. Highly appreciated. And I just want to give a big thanks to the 304 viewers, guys, across YouTube and Twitch, man. I don't have the metrics for Periscope or Mixer up there, and I think that actually looking at the new updates to the streaming system, I think that actually what we're probably going to start doing is also restreaming on Facebook Live. So if you guys do want to watch the show on Facebook Live as well, you guys can do that as well. So let's head over to the chat, see what I missed, guys. Oh yeah, Crypto Angler, I did see your comment. You said, not sure when, but Coinbase Pro should be adding XLM next. I expect a 5 to 10% move up to profit from, in my opinion. I do think XLM actually looks interesting, and we're going to look at that here in just a second, guys. Yeah, hey, Scott, can you... Yeah, there you go. Thank you, man. You're already on that, bro. Crypto UK says, we're going to the moon! Well, I don't have that picture, man. I don't have that picture, but maybe it's more like, I showed the picture before, like, well, you have the Earth, and then it's like we're going to the moon, and then it shows the Bitcoin price like this, and the moon's like actually underneath us in its orbit. And, well, maybe we're looking for a gravitational swing to Mars, you know? We always have to be looking for the upside there, guys. Always trying to stay positive. I love the positivity, man. Way to go, bro. Hey, yeah, Kevin, man, we don't mind. We don't actually mind. I've brought on projects onto the show before because I am fascinated by new developments in cryptocurrency. But there are better ways to go about it, man. Like, if you would like us to check out your project and potentially have a conversation about it, just hit us up in the Discord, man. We'll look at your thing. We have a team of analysts that pour over white papers, and we'll take a look at kind of what you're talking about. So let's get into the requests, guys. Doc and XLM. Crypto King asks, when homeless? Well, here, let me show you. Let me find that picture here real quick, guys. Dum-ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Oh, shoot. I don't know where it is. Is it here? Hold on a second. Oh, come on. Where you at, man? Where is that picture? I have a pretty funny picture, if I can find it. Oh, come on, man. Shoot. No. Ah, come on, man. Okay, I'm not going to waste all our time looking for the homeless charting picture, man, but God, it's a really good one, man. It's a really good one. If I can pull it up, I'll highlight it, man. I don't know where all my funny pictures are. I got to redo, like, Scott built me a new computer recently, and I kind of had everything backed up, so I'm still looking at, like, kind of organizing everything. AJ Gaming, hi. Yeah, man, I see you, dude. I see you, brother. Let's see here. Crypto King asks, when homeless. Yeah, so God, I can't think of that picture, but it's a picture of the guy, and he's like homeless, and he's like laying on a flatbed truck, and he's just like popped back, but there's a big screen TV, and it's the Bitcoin chart on it. It's awesome, dude. I love it. You know, that's one of the things that that I'm gonna miss from being in cryptocurrency since 2016 is the memes, man. Like as things go forward more, like crypto Twitter's keeping it alive pretty strong, but it is starting to die off, man. And we're gonna see the end of the era. We're gonna see the end of the era when Bitcoin was fun and for nerds, man. It's gonna be moving over the next few years into an institutional, actually legitimate thing, and we see that more and more. We've seen it more over the last 2 years, but yeah, man, it's gonna be sad, man. Will Bitcoin drop below 1 Satoshi now? 1 Doge equals 1 Doge always. Expect.
It's over 9,000!
Jeffrey Gomez. Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for the sub on YouTube and welcome to the Kraken cryptocurrency community. Let's see here. Hey, right on, man. Thanks, Aiden. Hey, appreciate that constructive criticism, Crypto UK. Let's see here. Moving on. Okay, so let's get into the request. Sorry, guys. Doc and XLM. And yeah, we'll take a look at XRP BTC. That's fine.
It's over 9,000!
Bulgarian Holic. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. Welcome to the community. Let's do the 12-hour chart. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit clearer. And let's get rid of all that. Cool. All right, first things first, guys. Key areas of support and resistance is the first thing we have to do when approaching any chart. And again, I always like to target pools of liquidity or wicks. That way, because I'm going to be setting these as take profit targets on the way back up, as opposed to traditional order blocks of resistance. I wait to establish those when I'm actually in an active trade, and that's where I'm actually looking for a period of consolidation or rejection. The way that I chart out resistance lines right here, guys, is so that when price is actually moving up for me, and say I get into a trade, I can actually pinpoint key areas where price is actually likely to turn around, or excuse me, to hit as a take profit target. So my support and resistances double as not only areas of resistance, but they also double as likely areas where price is likely to hit, because that was a pocket of liquidity where there was a significant limit order placed. So likely in the future, there will be a limit order there placed as well to act as short-term support. Now, let's take a gander here and see, measuring from our swing high to our swing low, where we at with Fibonacci's. We are resting right on that 88.6 Fibonacci retracement, or 886 Fibonacci retracement, which is a key area for price to turn around at. As we can see, we did end up finding support right here. And if you actually look at Fibonacci retracements, what's the most fascinating thing about Fibonacci retracements is that you can wait for one measured move, like we see here. Like, for example, you can use a trend-based fib extension, and you can measure this movement right here, and then you wait for the low. And it actually lines up fairly well with what areas price is going to respect. So this is a micro example, but you actually do see how price respects these micro Fibonacci retracements as they respect the macro Fibonacci retracements on the way back up. Like, keep in mind, guys, realistically, you would think that, well, price had no idea that these Fibonacci lines were here on the way back up, yet look how we see them respected. Look at that 618 Fibonacci extension, or excuse me, retracement being respected on the way up. Look at the 886 Fibonacci retracement being respected on the way down. This is why these areas do form key support and resistance levels. Look at how the 786 was respected on the way up. just flipping these. This is actually the 382 on the way down, but it's the 786 on the way up. And look how the 886 or the 236 acted as the top level of candle body close resistance up here, guys. Again, on the way back down, the 618, as always, acting as support. So is the 50% retracement. These are areas where price did stop for a little bit and consolidate, but the overall dominant trend was to the downside. So price was continually repressed down to the 886. Now, what I don't like about looking at DOC here is the fact that we've already had a bounce off of the 886, and I don't think that the market is extremely bullish for altcoins right now. Again, you're looking at very short-term speculative plays, and although they can generate significant returns, as you can see here, the last good play off DOC did return you about 34%. In fact, we did trade DOC. We did take a DOC trade last week. Or late in November. Late in November. And that actually did return good profits for us. But it's not a good market for altcoins right now. So you have to be very wary of this. And again, support is an area such that the way that support works is that it's a springboard, guys. It's elastic. The more times that you test support, the more likely it is to break to the downside, guys. And since we're looking at actually the 886 Fibonacci retracement right here, if we do break this area, then the last area that we're looking to get a relief bounce from is going to be our lower areas of support here at 210 and 190. 210 Satoshis and 190 Satoshis, guys. So this actually doesn't look very positive to me for a potential bounce back up. If you were looking to enter into this trade, I will show you the safe way that you can do it using average true range. And again, let's see. I don't think DOC has a US, so I'm going to actually do this. And see if it's congruent. Chart does not look the same in dollar valuation, so I will stick to Bitcoin for the purposes of this chart. So we will use our ATR trailing stop to generate what one average true range is away in this period of consolidation right now. And actually, I do want to generate this on a lower time frame, so we will go to the 4-hour chart to generate this trade setup, because I would not be expecting a long-term play out of this. In fact, it would be better to do this on the 1-hour chart, honestly, because of the area where we're currently nestled in. But I will do it on the 4-hour chart for the purposes of demonstration. So we do have price currently at 258 Satoshis. So we will simply measure from current price to where our average true range trailing stop is. That gives us a measure of about 6 Satoshis. Okay, so we want to actually play off the support level right here. And again, volatility extremely low. So we will be measuring off that low volatility in the consolidation range right now. So we will actually project up 6 Satoshis from 251. We'll be willing to buy at least 1x ATR above price. So that would be 257 Satoshis. And we're willing to buy at a multiple of 2x ATR below. So 257 minus 12, 247, 245. And we would be managing risk. At 21 Satoshis to the downside from support. So 36. 236 is where we would be managing risk on this particular setup. And 3 ways to space yourself into this particular area. You can be looking to buy a third of your position at the top, at the middle, and at the bottom. So that would be putting your buys at 257. 257, 251, and 245 would be your entry area. Managing risk right here. And now let's calculate take profit targets for you for the short term, because I do feel this would be a short term play. So pocket of liquidity, and Reversion from the point of control. And we'll give you a Hail Mary target as well. Just using VPVR to calculate take profit targets right now, actually, based off the short-term play. Now, do I think we actually make it up here? More than likely not, but these would be areas to target. Okay. So there you have it, my friend. If you were looking for a speculative entry off of this particular play right here, you actually would have already gotten your trade off these couple of wicks. If you would have been entering at 257, take profit targets at 260, 265, 270, and 279, managing risk at 236. So this would bring your average entry here. So your risk to the downside is going to be 5.86 on this particular setup, and your total P&L here, or looking to the upside, is for your second take profit target is about a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, about a 1.5, and here's your 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. 1.27 actually at your third take profit target. So not the greatest risk to reward ratio in the world. Again, you don't always get ideal optimum 2-to-1 particular setups, but this is just how I've been managing trades for quite a while, looking to the downside. Now this would be a conservative stop loss. The more aggressive stop loss would be to getting your average entry to 257 and managing your risk at 245 actually. Now if you were doing it that way, then your trade does actually become a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which does look more profitable, and you'd be cutting your losers quicker. And that might even be recommended based on the volatility and the overall dominant downwards trend of the market. I do not see. So I guess the only pattern that I see here that makes sense to me would be this descending triangle pattern. The other way to play this as well would be to be cautious of this descending triangle pattern. Again, this is not a trade that I really want to take. DOC does look like it's going to break down below support. This is just an idea generation for you if you are feeling bullish about DOC for some fundamental reason. That does give you a measured move of 12% to the downside. So that measured move would actually put you down at 227. So I think probably the better way to actually play this out is to look for an average entry. If you were speculatively taking this up to the upside around 257, let me make sure I'm right on that. 251, excuse me. And then target areas like 258 and 260 in the short term, or excuse me, 260 and 265, trying to play that speculative short-term bounce. As you can see, this trade right here would have popped it for you. So those are just short-term quick scalps that you can take in this market. Those are 3% trades, guys, and sometimes you've got to be happy with that. Everybody wants these big, massive bull run 30, 40, 50% returns, guys, and those are unrealistic expectations that are going to get you hemmed up in your trading and start and give you poor trading hygiene, guys. Again, it's much better if you want to actually make it in this space to set low conservative targets like to grow your portfolio like 10% a year. Like, why don't you set a small conservative target like that and then look to repeat that the next year? And then when you do get nice massive returns on gains and you let winners run, then you're quite happy, guys. But you're able to, that is the way that you can do this professionally. Manage risk, look for conservative returns, and you can actually be profitable in this space. People who tend to make a lot of money quickly tend to lose it just as quickly. And we saw that with the cryptocurrency bull run of 2017. Just about everybody that was screaming and in riches and doing fantastic and awesome at the top is now a pauper, are now paupers. So let's see here. So yeah, this actually looks quite bearish to me. Let's see here. Simply AV, how low will Bitcoin go if I had to guess? 2,300. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Litecoin. I could take a look at it. Yeah, sure, man.
It's over 9,000!
Hey, Aramu Manager. Hey, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube, man. Welcome to the community. Fifth Ronin. Hey, man, we'd love to see you in there, bro. Do I like XRP in the long run? Yes, I actually do. Ripple having an announcement Tuesday. Prepare for a possible spike. I think the announcement that you're talking about is the Ask Me Anything. So I'm not overly excited about that particularly. The Ask Me Anything with their CEO. But the XRP army is strong, man. So now is not a good time to bet against Ripple. iGamer77Z7 says, I trade 25% of my Ripple for whatever coin bottoms on the daily. Except Bcash, I avoid it like the plague. Then I sell the next day or two and put it back in XRP. Doesn't sound like a bad strategy, honestly. Hello from Bucharest. Something about Bcash. Yeah, man, it fell off a cliff, dude. We actually took a speculative position in BCH, a small position, and it did not play out. So that's okay. Aussie King. Okay, thanks, man. I apologize. Yeah, sometimes I get overly excited. I have a lot of thoughts blowing out of my mind all the time. I will try to slow down a little bit. Enrique Avalos, man, just join the Discord, and you can hit up either myself or Scott or Ben. We can help navigate you to that, man. I'm JWise free in the Discord, 5626, I think. I get that wrong all the time. $56.96. But you'll see me in the Discord. I'm the one that says admin. So is Scott. So is Ben. Hey, XRP Roshi, what's going on, man? Hey, okay, Aussie King, I feel you, man. I've gotten that constructive criticism quite a bit, so I will try to slow it down for you guys. I have been actively trying to do that. If you go back and look at my earlier videos, like, man, I'm rattling quick. All right, let's see here. Isn't this a head and shoulders pattern on Doc? Could be a potential head and shoulders pattern as well. Let's see if I do see that. No, not really. I like to see that nice, clean shoulder form. But if that did play out, we would measure the neckline here seems fairly strong to me. I'll take the conservative measurement, and that actually puts us 10% to the downside. So that's actually a little bit more conservative of a measured move, actually. That puts us right in between the stop loss, the aggressive stop loss, and the measured move of the descending triangle. Again, the descending triangle looks much cleaner to me and much simpler, honestly. You can see it quite clearly. You can see equal support, and you see a demand zone, and then you also see that supply is just crushing price down, and also the fact that you are in a downtrend as well. So it is a chart pattern that is congruent to the downtrend as well. Hey, Real Stogger Roach, man. Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, I feel you, brother. Thank you so much. What is the XRP catalyst? Again, that's in the short term, it's the Ask Me Anything with our CEO. I'm not really super Super excited about that. Yes, Texas Blues. If Ripple does get added to Coinbase, it would cause a huge pump. Hey, thanks, brother. Jay Constant says, I think 3,200 on Binance is the bottom for this week, but I am wrong often, man. Hey, it's good to admit that and be humble, man. It is good. It's one of the most positive things that you can see in trading. Yes, the order book does look extremely supportive, honestly. Again, that is why I'm playing the particular position that I'm playing. A Bulls valiantly stepping in here to defend. We'll see how far they can push this up. No volume yet to speak of. Hey, Hayden, what's going on, man? Welcome back from the store. Did you get us some sandwiches? Because I am hungry, dude. The XRP to low cap coin strategy says, iGamer says it makes him nervous because I know it can pump any day. Yeah, so you'd actually be buying your Ripple back at a less attractive price. In that situation, you might get stuck in the whatever coin that you decided to speculate on. But the other thing about it is that you said you were only doing it with 25% of your account. So maybe just be looking at the fundamentals of Ripple, look at the price analysis of Ripple at that particular time, and only be looking to, don't look to ditch your strategy, because if your strategy is working for you, don't change. Any strategy is going to have down times. You might have a highly successful strategy that is successful for you to 60 to 70% of the time. But you will still go through periods where you just seem to be losing at every trade. And the worst thing you can do at that point in time is actually get frustrated and switch up your strategy, because that's the death spiral of traders. I've seen it happen so many times, guys. I have not switched up my fundamental strategy in a long time because I feel very comfortable with it. And I do go through periods where I lose money consistently. But if you average out my returns over the course of years, months, weeks, I make more money than I lose. And that allows me to continue to do this on a daily basis. So potentially look at when there's situations where you think that XRP is likely to move up in price or valuate higher, look to just reduce your position size. Don't change your strategy, just reduce your position size. And then potentially you could even move into Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever pairing is more valuable, or Doge, and then you can move back into Ripple when it does on a retracement. Yagami, good morning to you. Just woke up going to check my portfolio. Oh my god! Hey, one of these days, it will turn around, man. These Ripple Ask Me Anythings are less than impressive as they have been done internally. Questions coming from their employees. Yeah, for real, man. I take the L out if the price hasn't gone up in 3 days. Well, good. That's good to see. You've got risk management. You've got strategy. You're consolidating and concising everything into one package. That's good, man. Yang Enterprise, I will get the Litecoin. My bad. Litecoin long term, I think Litecoin will probably see valuation. I'm not exactly sure how or how nicely, but again, there's a lot of in long term, I think that Litecoin's garbage. But in the midterm, like long term, 5 to 10 years, probably will go to a low valuation. In the midterm, like the next 2 to 3 years, I think it'll probably move up with the rest of the market, starting in Q2 of 2019. Let's see here, XLM. Okay, I know I have it here. There we go. Oh, shoot. Wrong window. So XLM actually potentially looks like oversold volume right here. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we do see this this potential. If price is able to push up a little higher, we would see a nice attractive hammer candle on very high volume, which is indicative of oversold volume. Again, you can see the key areas of scale that I've been playing out on this. So actually, underwater a little bit on this particular position right now. Not so much. Managing risk at a lower level. But yeah, setting up for XLM for a good positional trade on this one as well. If we take a look at Mr. Fibonacci, I can almost guarantee this is 886. All right, so down below the 886, just a little bit, almost at the bottom level of this descent of this parallel channel that I've charted out. Now, I'm not exactly sure like how significant this is. The reason that I charted out the top, again, I don't put a lot of stock into chart patterns, guys. I really don't. The reason why is because I've seen them play out to the upside and the downside so many times that that it's not super critical for me. Let's go to a higher time frame so I can do a little bit more here on XLM actually. So the top of that would be there. Right there. And then right there as well. Top of that consolidation period right there. And below that, it starts to get pretty hairy. Here, and really the value area starts here. Yeah, and below that, it starts to get much worse. So, the next key area of support for XLM is going to be about 2,910 Satoshis. Falling down below that, we do have another potential stab at 2,763 Satoshis. So actually, we could drop almost another 9 to 10%. Now, a break of that level to me is probably going to signify that we don't bounce around. I mean, you could target these areas of liquidity right here. You could target these areas of liquidity right here, but there's not a lot of volume behind that. But again, one thing to keep in mind is that those are areas in the marketplace where there was large limit orders because they were taking advantage of these dips and they were quite bullish on XLM moving to the upside. So we actually see that kind of the exact same thing here. The last time XLM actually did move down over 60%. This was the area where limit orders were in the books to buy up the movement. And I wonder why. Let's actually look and see. That looks like a 618 potentially. 786, yep, right above the 786 Fibonacci retracement in between the 618 and the 786 is actually where price did turn around, measuring from the true bottom to the true top. And we are in that key support area zone right here, guys, where we have seen price turn around twice. Will it hold on the third pass through? I don't know. Actually, it's been tested once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. One thing that I have said, guys, is that the more times that support is tested, the more likely it is to break. And a break of these support levels right here is going to indicate a move down to at least this potential to test this pool of liquidity right here. And that's at 2127. Breaking down below that, the next area that we really have significant support is around 1779. So just looking at a statistically likely area to entry, this does seem like an attractive area to enter into XLM. XLM has been quite a bullish coin, good performer, and I think there's some good fundamentals. I think that it is just facing the natural downturn of the market. It's only down 35% from this recent run up, guys. So that is something to keep in mind as we look at other coins that are down significantly more. Stellar is actually holding up quite swimmingly, honestly. So XLM, not a bad one to bet on, especially trying to accumulate in these regions right here, and then looking for that bounce back up. Now, where is your resistance now at this point in time? Well, these have actually all become resistance levels now. So they all are potential take profit targets on your way back up. If you are looking to short term this baby. Longer term targets are actually going to posit you toward the ones that here that are more significant for me on higher time frames are going to be something like 3263, I think. Right now, you actually do need to overcome 3076. You need to overcome 3076 because that's your previous consolidation area and the beginning of the HVN right here. And then you're just targeting in between HVNs on your way up. Local point of control here at 3198. So those are take profit targets here on the way up. And again, those levels are 3076, 3131, 3198, 3263, and 3306, giving you a nice movement up here of about 7% just in the short term. Michael Gomez, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube, man. Welcome to the community. So yes, that's your upside potential as well. And then really looking for, if this is your bottom, looking for a common retrace, honestly, back up here to test the true. If we're able to break above here, this top resistance level that I have for us, with, let's see here. $33.06. Yeah, if we're able to get above 33.06, I feel fairly confident that we actually do gap trade up back to retest like our 50% line right here, which would be around 38.51. So that would be a much more attractive trade on the table. If you wanted to wait for the breakout trade and for XLM to actually reverse bullishly, look for a breakout trade from 33.06 to around 3800. I think would be a fairly safe trade. You do want to be careful of this this pocket of HVN, which is actually I have targeted out here as a resistance point, and this previous order block right here at about 3580 to 3700. I'd be cautious of that area. Look for a little bit of consolidation around that range, and potentially for price to get rejected from that area. But that's a nice little LVN pocket trade right here from 3306 up to that 3500, and a break of that 3500, 3700 area back up to 3800 as well. So good trades on the table, good potential for XLM. We do want to be cautious again if we do start closing higher time frame candles below like 3000, around 2900, particularly 2700, because that's our last little point of control bounce right here. I get very bearish on XLM at that point in time because I don't see anything holding us up until another 20% downturn, and I'm not willing to hold and stomach that, honestly. But yes, we are entering into an area where a bounce is statistically likely. So measuring the risk at those areas also would be a return to bounce off the channel right here. So even potentially just a 5% scalp back up to test the median line right here, and then even potentially a movement back up. And that's why I have all these short-term scalp targets in here as well. If you are looking for a potential entry now, the way to measure this out would be the following. Let's make sure that that's saved. I'm going to look at this measured against the dollar. Looks quite different measured against the dollar. So we will go back to XLM BTC. All right, we do have our measured true range, so we will use the higher time frames on this because if XLM does play out, I would be expecting a larger movement from XLM. So we have current price at 30.52, and we have our 1x ATR multiplier at 99 satoshis away. So using the support level right here, we would be willing to enter, let's just call it 100 satoshis. So that's 29.10, so we'd be willing to enter at 30.10. We'd be willing to enter at 2x below, so 27.10. So there's 27.63. So we'll just call it that for the sake of argumentation. And then you're actually managing risk at 3.5% away, so that's 350 satoshis below. So 2900, 2800, 2700, 2660. And you're managing risk right there. So you do have a about a 8% window of entry and a potential drawdown of 8% as well, guys, bringing your average entry price to around 2,900 would be your goal here, or even ideally about 2,800 would be ideal as well, depending on how aggressive or conservative you would like to play this out. And then looking at your risk to reward ratio right here, if your average entry is 2,900. You have, and you're managing risk here. Your risk to reward based on your scalping method is going to be returning you 5% in profit with 8% in potential losses. Your second target gets you at about 1-to-1 ratio. Take profit 1 take profit 3, excuse me, would be you're starting to get higher in your risk to reward ratio as well. If you are targeting the long-term movement up here back to this range, you do have about a 1.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So based on traditional equities or based on traditional risk management, it's not the best risk to reward ratio as well. However, you have to look at where you're managing risk at a likely area at a multiple of ATR 3.5, which is how I've traded for a long time, and just based off the area that this is a statistically likely area for XLM to see a bounce. So that is your potential trade setup. And we'll see how it plays out. Best of luck to you. Now let's go and take a look in a gander here and see if we see any bullish divergence. We have to wait until we bottom, but potentially bullish if we do bottom here and we start to move up a little bit, potential bullish divergence on the Fisher transform. Depends on where we bottom, but maybe very weak bullish divergence on the stochastic. No bullish divergence on the RSI, just oversold volume. And we actually do see that bullish divergence on the MACD histogram as well, depending on where we bottom. On the histogram and even potentially from the MACD itself, depending on where we bottom. So might be a good area for a bounce here for XLM. We'll just have to wait and see, wait for the daily candle to close, and then we can go from there. All right, XRP BTC. Ripple having a down day. Now, yesterday, what did I did say that yesterday I was expecting for the support level to be broken on XRP BTC. We did end up having a nice green day yesterday on very low volume though, and that's what concerns me. So let's actually see. I want to see if I see any. No, I don't see any divergence. Sorry. I do not see any bearish divergence. Here's what I do see. I see that we're at the top of a pattern. All right, we've been on a nice run here lately. XRP BTC has been holding in quite well. So the overall trend is to the upside. So this is an area where I don't really want to take a position in XRP BTC. Why? Because there's too many differing factors. I don't see any bullish or bearish divergence. I do see that sentiment data. I do see that longs are just falling off the face of the map at the top of an uptrend. In fact, longs start falling off right here. So when you see that happen, in XRP BTC, what that's saying is it's either indicative of two things. It's actually indicative of actual spot selling of XRP BTC, which is bearish, and you do see this increase in shorts though. So it's not a change in open interest. It's not a change in open interest. It's less indicative of actual spot price selling in XRP BTC and more speculation on the short term downside of XRP BTC. So as we can see here, we are near the top of an uptrend right here.
Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just takes.
Hey, KNZN, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch, man. Highly appreciated. So we do see here that we have pulled back to test resistance as support. We did get a nice little reactionary bounce off that. However, on very weak volume, we do see this run up right here on nice bullish volume, and then the decline down, and then the movement back up on weak volume. So I need to see some volume pour into XRP BTC before price action tells me that we can actually get some follow through off this bounce off support. Otherwise, I do think that the support level that I have at 87.29 Satoshis will most likely break, at least to the downside. We will pull back to test this ascending channel that I have, and potentially even a wick down to the 50% Fibonacci retracement at 82.90. At that point, I will hopefully know a little bit more in the market. Hopefully there will be more data for me to go off of. Again, the fact that shorts have just fallen off a cliff, and the fact that, that longs have fallen off a cliff, and the fact that shorts have spiked up here recently does not give me...
Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger don't give a shit. It just takes what it
Hey,
wants.
Mixie80, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch, man. Took you long enough. No, thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for your support. the fact that longs have fallen off the map and shorts have just picked up right here and spiked, and longs continue to fall off, and the fact that we have weak volume on this potential baby move up, and the fact that yesterday we did have a bullish engulfing candle, and today we're having a potential harami candlestick pattern, basically giving it all back in the course of a day, does not fill me with confidence in XRP BTC. Now, do I think that XRP USD in the long term will play out quite well? Yes, I think it will. Now that it's the number 2 coin and there's just so much positive momentum. But actually, you have to look conversely, man. You have to look at like the XRP army and the XRP community, like everybody who's heavily invested in XRP. Like, that means that there's a lot of potential sellers in the market. And if XRP BTC does get squeezed here and start to move to the downside, as we're seeing the longs getting squeezed here, actually, starting here, which actually propelled them downward. Because you do see the spike in longs right here, and as price moved against them, they deleveraged, and that scared the longs, and they moved down. But really, if you look at what the sentiment is doing, I mean, the longs started scaling out right here at this point in time. Now, why would that make sense? Because they don't see the follow through on this. They don't feel positive or confident in this continued bullish movement upwards. We do see indications of that with the lack of volume on this potential follow through. Now, again, we do have this nice, I feel like I repeat myself a lot, guys, but I just want to point these things out so that they're very clear. We have a bullish engulfing candle yesterday, and we have given it all back today. And this is potentially forming a harami candlestick pattern, which is a bearish reversal candlestick pattern. A harami pattern forms when you have a bullish engulfing candle, and then you have a bearish engulfing candle that stays within the boundaries, the open and close staying within the boundaries of that candlestick as well. That is generally a bearish reversing pattern that typically leads to something like 3 black crows, which would be 3 red candles, three bearish engulfing candles on the way down. So this is not a bearish engulfing candle yet. It's just a harami pattern, and we'll wait and see how this plays out. But it does not fill me with a whole lot of optimism. Even the pullback here to the 21 period exponential moving average does not fill me with a lot of optimism. Now, if we do get more volume pouring in, then I start to feel like, okay, potentially confident right now. We do have current resistance at now, what did I say yesterday? I said that a nice daily candle close above 9,000, I start to feel more confident. We did actually posit that in. We did have a close above 9,000, but we're just giving it all back today. We're just giving it all back. So until I see a switch in that momentum, then I don't feel good. And in fact, this actually leads more credence to my idea that BTC will move up in the short term, actually. The reason why is because when XRP BTC price moves up, Bitcoin price generally is moving down because people are hedging in XRP as opposed to Bitcoin. And when XRP BTC price moves down, typically BTC price does move up as valued to the dollar because people are moving out of XRP to take advantage of Bitcoin's price valuation, is what I've noticed. Rough correlations is what I've noticed. So this is a no trade zone for me. Again, strong daily candle closes above 9,000 with bullish volume follow through. This was a pullback, and we are seeing a continuation of the trend. But as long as these weak follow-throughs on weak volume continue to happen, and as long as the sentiment data remains the same, then I don't feel overly confident for the continued bullish movement of XRP BTC. And I would be looking for more of a sustained pullback, either to the 8290 area to test this ascending channel and the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, or potentially even further back to in between the 618 and the 786, where I have current support here at 7422 Satoshis, 7,422 Satoshis, to test the upper liquidity area of this consolidation period. And really the top, coming into the range of the top of this high volume node right here that did mark the last accumulation period for us as well. Okay, XRP BTC done. I said I would look over Litecoin real quick. Guys, the FUD over a lot of miners shutting down due to the price of Bitcoin is just that. It's not based in reality. There are difficulty recalculations, and individuals will be able to actually earn more profit from mining Bitcoin. And you have to understand that there are many, many, many miners who are in things like contractual obligations, where they have actually set up legal deals with energy providers, network providers, warehouses, etc. Now, there are a lot of smaller operations that are not able to maintain and cover their overhead throughout this downturn in price, but there are significant number of miners who are and are legally required to do so because of the contractual obligations that they have signed up with. And there are also a lot of miners that will continue to mine even at a loss throughout this downturn, because if they've been mining for a long time, then they've got a significant amount of capital to be able to prop up their mining operation. Things like Bitmain probably will have a rougher time of it. The reason why is because they have engaged in their capital with a lot of shenanigans, and they also have a class action lawsuit against them. They have a lot of negative publicity. They have engaged in this hash war with Craig Wright, which has bankrupted Bitmain kind of right now, and they've had a shakeup of their managerial positions of their board of directors, and also. I think their IPO is going to be an absolute flop and failure. And so for this reason, I think that Bitcoin is actually on the rope, or Bitmain is actually on the ropes, but there are a lot of smaller mining pools. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are miners, guys, and some of them are fairly significant miners, and they are not looking in any way, shape, form, fashion, flavor to stop mining Bitcoin. And they also have the capital and are prepared to weather the downturn regardless of how low Bitcoin goes. And as Bitcoin gets cheaper and cheaper to mine, or excuse me, as the Bitcoin price moves down, the difficulty recalculates, and you will see a new influx of savvy entrepreneurs stepping in to set up new mining operations as the price goes lower, guys. So I just want to make sure you guys fundamentally understand that this whole fear about the mining is just that. It's just fear. It's not based in actual reality. Yes, they are, Jay Constant. Those are longs and shorts. Hey, Camille Europe. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Satoshi Nakamoto. So good to meet you, sir. Thank you. I'm a big fan of your products. I did actually set up a Lightning Network node. I don't have it running right now. I did set it up and play with it. Scott, are you around, man? Can you block that Putin 7 dude just spamming emojis? Yes, that is what I went over that article the other day. A lot of Chinese miners are actually putting their mining proceeds on BitMEX and then shorting. Gosh, I'll take care of it, man. Don't worry. Hey, yeah, a lot of miners are actually putting their proceeds. There we go. A lot of miners are actually, yeah, rest in peace, Scott. A lot of miners are actually putting their proceeds onto BitMEX and then shorting and delivering at a later time. Because otherwise they would be going bankrupt right now. Now, overall, that's bad for the market, but it's good for them. Satoshi, that's why you've got to run an extension cord over your neighbor's house. That's how you mine profitably. Now, there are a lot of miners that are not doing that, because in the long term, just like Nakamoto consensus and just like the entire idea of blockchain consensus, those who play by the rules in the long term, and just in life as well, guys, those who actually play by the rules and play fair do end up making more money in the long term, and those who are short-sighted and short-term gainers tend to get kicked out of the marketplace eventually and quicker. Those who have the propensity and the ability and the psychology to weather the storm of Bitcoin will be glad that they did in the long run. Those who were only out for a get-rich-quick scheme are going to get smashed, just like they did over the course of 2018. All right, the last thing that I want to take a look at is Litecoin, and I'm sorry, man. I know that you subbed, and it took me a minute to actually look at this bad boy. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin actually does not look attractive to me right now. If we look at the daily chart, we kind of see the same thing as Bitcoin, honestly, just on the micro time frame, but we see it on the macro with Litecoin. We do see breakdown volume right here, and typically breakdown volume is not followed immediately by oversold volume. I think that we still have quite a ways to go here with Litecoin, honestly. Long term, I don't have a lot of faith in Litecoin. I think that it's pretty much a garbage project. It's Bitcoin, but with security flaws. The whole idea that silver to Bitcoin's gold is a lot of people really like Charlie Lee, and it is. He's a controversial figure. He's a good speaker. He seems like a nice guy. But Litecoin itself is a fraud, man. You don't need a second layer. You don't need a second layer solution to Bitcoin that is not a second layer solution to Bitcoin is actually false advertising and fraudulent. Now, just based off price action, the next areas that I see for support, I do see us actually starting to close daily candles down below this value area that we had posited in. Looking back over here in historical price data as well, that puts us damn near almost to the bottom of this value area right now. So a close below 2162 puts us in no man's land, and we will zoom right down to $17. And if $17 is not able to hold, then we move down to $12 to $13, which is actually where strong support is. I think Litecoin probably bottoms out around $12 to $13. I could even extend that out and say $13 to $15. So in this range. But do I think Litecoin's going to bottom out right now? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to come down here. I don't see capitulation yet. This is not, I see no signs of capitulation. I need to see volume like this until I start having some faith that this is capitulation. I'm just wrapping up. All right, guys, so that's all for today's show, guys. We've been doing this live for about 2 hours, man, and I've got to get going, guys. We've got some trades to make. I must prepare for more extensively for the webinar tonight for the premium subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today for our daily show, guys. And again, we're here live every morning at noon Eastern Seaboard Time to crack cryptocurrency, guys, live for you guys. I want to thank all the people who subscribed today and followed on Twitch. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. You guys are fantastic, man. Thank you so much. I hope I was able to go over everything you wanted me to go over.
9,000!
Hey, Scotty Ogden, man. Thank you so much for the sub on YouTube again, man. I appreciate the support, brother. So let's just end today with the most important thing that you can do with your day besides buy Bitcoin. So, by the way, guys, head on over to crackingcryptocurrency.com. As I've said, Scott continues to work on this website. It continues to get nice, beautiful, wonderful, and awesome, guys. Continues to improve. We will be adding a lot more to this website as time goes by, but we already do have a lot of resources on it right now. So go check it out, guys. If you are interested in supporting the stream, guys, as always, we highly appreciate it. If you click the subscribe bell, or if you click subscribe and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification icon so you can be alerted when we go live every morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to crack cryptocurrency live for you guys every day. If you're on Twitch, guys, we highly would appreciate a follow on our channel at Cracking Crypto. You can obviously follow us on all our socials. They are in the description down below, as well as relevant referral links and links to the Discord. But the most important thing that you could do, guys, is just come on over to crackingcryptocurrency.com, click join the trading community. You will be instantly transported to our Discord, where we do have technical analysis, general chat, giveaways, just a good strong community, no charge. It's absolutely free. It's just a community for cryptocurrency traders, enthusiasts, and investors to participate in a community that actually cares and has knowledgeable people in it. We would love to see you in our Discord. Stop by and drop us a line. Again, you can hit me up at any time, guys. If you are interested in supporting the stream further, you can actually check out our merch to give us a one-time donation on PayPal or support us on Patreon as well. All the links are in the description down below. Or you could get yourself nice and fancy and pick up some Cracking Cryptocurrency merch. I have gone over this at length, guys, and I do have the data to prove it. If you drink your morning coffee out of this beautiful HODL Cracking Cryptocurrency mug, your coffee will taste 95% better, and you will be 80% more attractive to the opposite sex or the same sex. Whatever's your thing, man. No judgments, judgment-free zone. So we would really appreciate the support, guys. If you would like to join the Cracking Cryptocurrency Premium Trading Group, then that is available for you as well. It is $80 a month. For $80 a month, you get access to all our signals, all our trade setups. You get access to the private chat room with our subscribers and myself and all the other analysts at Cracking Cryptocurrency. You get access to the VIP day trading voice chat. You also get access to our resource resource library, which is starting to add gigabytes and gigabytes of PDFs, webinars, courses, workbooks, everything that you could possibly need to transform yourself into a regular trader, into a master trader. You also get access to private one-on-one webinars and early access to our bots, systems, and a trade journal and tracking sheet as well, guys, to keep you in the money. So go check that out, guys, if you are interested. If you have any questions, thoughts, opinions, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, please leave them in the comment section down below, or you can email us at contact@crackingcryptocurrency.com or send us a message in the Discord. We do always respond, although we might respond to death threats by reporting you to the FBI, guys. So until next time, guys, we'll be here tomorrow. Make sure to join us at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Cracking Cryptocurrency, guys. Until then, you guys be safe and trade wise, guys. Peace out.